Howdy, folks. Keywii here, and welcome back to Suzerain, the reign of the Suzerain of President Rayne. Anyway, welcome back. So I got my notes up. I very briefly, and this is so very valuable to me. I very briefly read everything that's been going on, and I'm just like, oh yeah, and I was reminded of everything that's been going on. So that's really cool. Anyway, so let's read the newspapers, read the new notices, and then do the next exclamation point in whole sort. One moment. All right, so Sordland today. President Anton Rayne. The new president has been sworn into office by Chief Justice Orso Hawker. Another great win for the USP and Anton Rayne, who managed to get 37% of the general vote. The first congratulations came from National Front Party, the runner-up of the general vote. Oh wait, oh sorry, it's. Oh, I hope it doesn't do this for all of them. Contacts close to the government report that yesterday Sordland's economic policies have been planned behind closed doors. Shortly after the meeting that was also attended by President Rayne, the Ministry of Economy has released a statement regarding their short-term economic plan, which included the promotion of planned economy. So this is not information, this is just a repetition of what's already going on. Okay, so Meteorological Institute had freezing temperatures reported the record low temperature of minus 29 in the city of Suzerain. Warning for frostbite has been issued in the cities of southern Bergia. People are advised not to go out unless they must do the frostbite. Schools are closed for this period. Southern Bergia. Oh, okay, so it's cold down there, mountainous up north. I wonder where I am. Go to the location. It's right there. Oh, I can't physically move this. Alright, well. It's cold outside. Alright, and then we go back to the news. Hit the radical up. Nationalist violence. Oh, giddy. A man in his 20s has been beaten with baseball bats in a parliamentary-style attack in Arvery. Go to location. Regional capital of England. Alright. The man claims to have been attacked because of his ethnic background in Anglo-Sordish citizen. He is approached during a walk with a park, a right-wing extremist who are suspected of being regulars at the local National Front Party office. The group inflicted injuries to his legs and arms, police said. The man was brought to the hospital after making his way to a nearby property. The police service of Arvery said that it was a brutal attack for which there is no justification. This is a hospital nearby, the police station. Brutal attack. There's no place for attacks such as this in our society, said Eric Neal, male of Arvery, and called for unity and urged restraint from the populace. All right, one moment as I get that down on my notes. England poor. Yeah. Violence in Arvery. All right. Yeah, whole sword. Alright, this is... Anyway, so yeah, no, we got that going on. Now, last news report, The Economists. Armadine Industry pioneering electronics. Armadine. New prototype first pocket radio is electronics. After 6 years of research, revealed that the thing has been solved. The company is now filing the patents for the product. The CEO predicting in the upcoming years, in a bid to raise further investment, Mr. Bridges has called for all venture capitalists who believe in the future of science and technology in the marketplace to invest in the company. The president of Arcasia, Dwight Walker, praised the bright minds of Arcasian engineers following the announcement and called for further technological advancements in the military industry complex. Republic? Oh, it's a different country. Which one is that? No. I'm going to read that in a moment, but where is Arcasia? Ignolia. I guess I don't know where Arcasia is. Anyway, so let's get some reports going. Read the report from Sarna. For the first time in 3 years, the agricultural output of Sarna has increased. Many experts link the increased output to both a drop in temperatures and new farming practices that have been adopted in recent years. Additionally, farmers are now accessing more generous credit allowances from the government that were left over from Alfonso administration. The Ministry of Agriculture reports that the region's agriculture industry has the potential to become a powerhouse in the future if investments persist. Oh, that's not good. That's just not good. Okay, so Sarna. All right, hang on. And this is in Bergia. Bergia. Sarna. Farming better. Better cause money. Okay. What about you? What do you got going on? Read the report from Gelsord. Recession led to reduction in rail assets. Oh, that's not good. With more than a fifth of the rail network itself antiquated, being mothballed recent years. Well, the main lines of the rail network are currently in service. Increasing demand for goods in Gelsord to the capital is pushing the network to its limits. The rail signaling system in the region dates from the middle of the last century. Is also in need of improvement. Alright, so Gelsland. Alright, hang on. Gelsland. Was it Gelsord? Yeah, Gelsord. I remember us putting sword at the end of the thing. Gelsord. Rails. Lacking. Infrastructure. Alright, what other reports we got? We got 2 more reports from Lenkirk. The recent collapse of the tourism industry in Lenkirk has led to a reduction in trade traffic and road maintenance. The road network is currently in service, but is in need of substantial improvement. Ports, yeah, so infrastructure here too. Bridges suffering similarly lack of investment. Firms doing business in Lenkirk report a significant shortage of warehousing facilities, particularly refrigerated facilities. Yeah. So they need. All right. So Lenkirk needs fucking infrastructure too. Kurg need infrastructure budget. Okay. And finally, this one. Read the report from Morna. Increasing unemployment. Fucking cool. Number of people filing for unemployment in Morna continues to rise as the recession continues. The change in economic conditions is historic and stunning in its speed. As said the mayor of Morna, in the aftermath of the crisis of 1951, the unemployment rate in Morna rose to 9% in the following year. The last 6 months have almost eased all gains in employment over the last 2 decades. Erased. Eased would be good. Okay. What is this? Ooh, Morna's his own country. Lauren and Morna. Lauren. There's 2 R's. Lauren. Morna. Fucking unemployment up. Cool. Whole sword. Whole sword. Traffic congestion. That's in Nargis. Nargis. There we go. We're splitting it all up now. Look at me go. All right, now we go to the actual fucking game here. Whole sword. Here we are. A briefing on the current political situation. Now, before I do that, I want to see what this is. Invest in mega infrastructure. A decision to invest in one of the 2 planned mega infrastructure projects. Interesting. All right, so let me hit this up. What is this? Political overview. Actions. Legislature. 130. That hasn't changed. Judiciary. I don't believe this has changed either. We got 5, 3, and 3. Anyway, nothing has changed. It's been like a week. Codex Journal. Turn 1. I haven't done dick yet. Anyway, briefing on the current political situation. There we go. Peter Vectern arrived a couple of minutes early and sat across from me. He was struggling to hold back his smile. We did it, Anton. We won. Finally, all those years with our noses to the grindstone paid off. Peter's eyes sparkled. The strain of the past months had put a damper on his usually rakish charm. Rakish? Rakish, whatever. But today, he was looking and acting more like his old self. He loosened his tie and undid the top 2 buttons of his shirt. Enjoying the new secretary I picked out for you? Alright, we're running into this now. I thought you'd appreciate a generous set of talents. It's a shame the rest of your staff aren't as easy on the eyes. God damn it, Peter. He gestured a slight paunch that protruded over his waistband. But hey, back in university, did you ever imagine we would be sitting here in the Maroon Palace? We have to celebrate this great victory. Let's celebrate then. I got my hands on something special for us. An Lori Maroon 30-year-old. That sounds like a type of a person. We'll celebrate in the inaugural ball, just hang in there until the evening. This is not the time to celebrate, Peter. We have work to do. We have a lot of work to do, but I don't want to be like too much of a hard ass, you know? Be like, yo, Peter, calm the fuck down. No, I'm gonna be chill about it. I'm gonna be, you know, obviously there's a time to celebrate, there's a time to relax and party, but we got a lot of work to do. You'll celebrate in the inaugural ball, just hang in there until the evening. Looking forward to it. Evelyn hopes to congratulate you in person there. Good to know, it's been some time since I last saw her. I'm sure the kids would love to see their Uncle Peter for the first time as a vice president. We'll see each other at the ball then. Yeah. Look, my kids would be thrilled to see you as the vice president. This is great to hear. It's crazy how fast the two have grown up. You are a good father. Aw, thanks. As a wistful look in his eyes, he and Evelyn have never been able to have kids of their own. Oh, no. I mean, maybe if he didn't go around fucking cheating, but whatever. During our campaign, the opposition had floated the rumor that he'd fathered illegitimate children during his wilder years, but had never been substantiated, which implies that he's infertile, perhaps. The door swung on. Ooh, I love the look of this guy. He's like an inquisitive Mr. Bean. Look at this guy. Look at this fucking guy. He's like, yes. But like less playfully. He's the current chief strategist. Yeah, I love it. The door swung open and Lucian Glade, my chief strategist, walked in. He was a compact man with sharp bird-like features. Oh, there we go. After briefly surveying the room from wall to wall, he sat down, poured a glass of water, and opened his briefcase in a series of quick, graceful movements. Gentlemen. The tall case clock in the room struck 3 o'clock. Damn, you're exactly on time. Hello, Peter. Lucian turns away from me. He's just French now. He's very slightly bowed his head. Good to see you, Lucian. Lucian, how are you? Let's not waste time, Lucian. Proceed with the overview. Yeah. You know, small talk was great until everyone was here. Now that everyone is here, let us begin. He worked as a lawyer and CEO of several companies, advised member, spokesperson, United Sordland National. Serving as an advisor to the Interior Minister. Lucian is well respected, a successful strategist, especially for his accomplishments in the recent elections. He's one of the most experienced members of the cabinet, although he is not a famed public figure. He is regarded by many to be an expert on law and media. All right, so I'm the money brains, he's the law brains. Got it. Let's not waste any time, Lucian. I'm sure you would love to get into this. As you wish, sir. Lucian spoke in a soft, clipped tones that immediately drew your attention towards what he had to say. Peter and I waited for him to proceed. Let's start by evaluating our current situation. The majority of the Swedish people demand change. They are more concerned about the economy than the constitution, but they blame the system for their problems. It's no longer French. People are losing their trust in our democracy. Why do you think radicals like Bernard Circus is a Swedish poet, novelist, and short story writer and politician? He's acclaimed for lyrical flow and regarded to be the leader of the Swedish avant-garde. His early writings are heavily influenced by social, cultural, and things. Home city of Dare. Oh, isn't that the poor one? Hang on. Dare. Go to Dare. I love that. Yeah. It's the this is the so it was these three places: poor, rich, middle class. That's what I'm remembering. And this place is not doing too hot either. But they're having an economic boom. Anyway, go back. So yeah, his work has earned him a description of the romantic communist. During the Red Youth, during the Thing. Returned to Sordland following the departure of Tarkin Sol. Alright, cool. It's becoming more popular. Everyone's expecting us to bring the change the last government did not. Franz Richter, leader of the Reformists, believes that true change can only be accomplished by transferring some of our powers to the Assembly. I'll move into the details of their demands shortly. Okay, who is this guy? A Swedish politician, businessman, and the leader of the People's Freedom of Justice Party. He is also the major shareholder of the construction company Taurus Holding. Ah, well. I agree with the reformists. Our responsibility is to democratize our broken system. We need to listen to the people if we want to serve this country. If we lose power, we won't be able to execute the changes we need to make for the good of the country. All right. So the reformists are believe that true change can only be accomplished by transferring some of our powers to the Assembly. That doesn't sound like the people. All right. So our responsibility is to democratize our broken system. A broken system being democratized would be great. We need to listen to the people if we want to serve this country. If we lose power, we won't be able to execute the changes we need to make for the good of the country. Yeah, we need to make good changes for the country. If it may create issues for you, yes. However, with the reformists gaining more popularity, we may not be in a position to stand against them. Mr. Richter, that guy, managed to persuade many members of Assembly to give their support for drafting a new constitution. Reformist politicians are quickly increasing in numbers. While the reformist wing inside our party is still a minority, they could have a tripartisan majority in this assembly, especially if they unite under Franz Richter. The USP reformists aren't wrong to agree that we need change, but we should be in charge. Richter could be a potential ally in our goal to maintain a majority in the assembly. Our party must fall in line with our position. We can't have a strong divide. Yeah, strong divide would be bad. We need to make sure that people stand together. Unity! Unity! You need to go with 3 on that one. Party must fall in line with our position. We can't have a strong but divide. True, if our party fractures, it's the opposition that will benefit. The reformist demands are clear. They want to limit the president's veto power, ensure that the Supreme Court is independent, and take away the court's right to vote on constitutional amendments. Okay, so Supreme Court of Sordland is the highest legal body of its constitutional jurisdictional review. So yeah, you want to take the creation away from the review. You want the writer away from the editor, is what I'm hearing. Both form a substantial law degree. Grand National Assembly, if necessary. Yeah. It's what America should be. Independent and take away the court's right to vote on constitutional amendments. As part of the reformists, we need a proper balance of power in this country. We must listen to their demands, otherwise we are no different than the previous administrations. Won't allow them to influence me, we will shape our own future. Not feeling 3 this particular time. I support the reformists. We need a proper balance of power in this country. Okay. We must listen to their demands, otherwise we are no different than the previous administration. Okay, I want to sound less like I'm trying to distance myself from the past, and more like I'm trying to move towards the future of good unity, country, unity, country. I agree. We can't ignore the wings of change, after all. The old guard will do its best to preserve the Constitution. Chief Justice Hawker and his allied judges have a great influence over the Supreme Court, which will be tough to break. Old guard refer to describe a group of influential individuals in the government. While some call it an urban myth and dismiss it, others are claiming the existence of a wide, deep state that controls the state rumors. There's still not a single public administration from the suspected figures. We got this guy. Oh, he looks like trouble. He graduated from Thing in 1903. He's a year older. He graduated the year before I was born, I think. I was born in 1908, 5 years earlier. The court has the final say over any constitutional legislation. Without their approval, we cannot even change it. We need a comprehensive bill to balance the power structure more fairly. We must break the power of the Supreme Court one way or another. I'd rather not go against them. The risks are too high. We're going to have to go against the old guard if we're going to want to make actual change. If we want to be corrupt and continue just being nothing, then we could listen to the old guard. But we got to break them up. We must break the power of the Supreme Court one way or another. We'll need a comprehensive bill to balance the power structure more fairly. I'm leaning more towards 2, to be honest, but this seems like the smarter option, I guess you could say. So I'm gonna hit it. I agree, the old guard won't like this, though. A comprehensive reform that would make the reformist happy would mean maintaining a balance between all branches of government. Which means removing your absolute veto as well. The reformists demand that all loopholes in the Constitution are closed. Looks like we have many changes ahead. We cannot allow obstructionists to exist. We can't underestimate this situation. Yeah, we have to do this, but we have to do it intelligently and carefully. We can't underestimate this situation. We can figure it out. Our party still holds 130 out of 250 seats in the assembly. We've got the power. Oh, wait, no. Fuck, I forget how that song goes. I've got the power! However, to reform the Constitution, we must receive a 2/3 majority in the Grand National Assembly, which is 166 votes, and a simple majority in the Supreme Court that equates to 6 votes. Sordland usually referred to the thing. Constitution. It was founded in Whole Sword on September 9th, 1923, in the midst of the Supreme September Revolution. So we need 166 and 6 in the Supreme. So let me take a look. So we need 6 in the Supreme Courts. So we need the reformists. We need everyone that isn't the old guards, basically. And then for legislative, we need 166, which is, what is this? People's Freedom Justice. NFP, National Freedom Party. National Front Party. It's a front! Speaker of the Grand National Assembly. Alright, so we're going to need a lot of people in on this if we're going to make actual change. Alright. After we have settled on how to proceed, we will need to talk with our party figures. Our first goal must get to 150 signatures needed to start the process. Following the green light from the USP, that's NFP, United Sordland Party, that's us, we will reach out to the other party leaders to see if they would back our draft. The last step is to convince the justices of the court. The entire process will take a long time, but we must start working with our former committee to evaluate all possibilities from a new constitution as soon as possible. To write a more democratic constitution with reformists, the new constitution should give the president wide-ranging powers to lead Sordland into the future. Not feeling that one, because maybe it would be good for me, but, hypothetically, I'm eventually going to die, right? Just that's how humans work. And if I'm going to die, my party will not be led by me. So even if I'm in charge until the day I cease to be, until I turn to dust and flop on the ground, I need to make sure that my country is good forever. My country must be amazing, even long past I'm in charge. So I need to make sure that the person in charge does not have the ability to just do whatever the hell they want. Because even if it helps me now, it doesn't help me later. We can work with the old guard to protect our existing extensive powers. Okay, so I'm not feeling the second one, definitely. And I was going to go for the third one, but then I read it. So I'm going to go with the first one. We will write a more democratic constitution with reformists. That's what we've been preparing for internally. Don't forget that promise is what got us elected. The key thing here will be strengthening the power of the assembly, which we already lead with majority. Peter nods in agreement. Yes, the divisions of power need to be rebalanced for a better Sordland. According to the initial... I just love doing this guy's voice, by the way. Lucian is great. I love his character. I love his face. Look at his face. I love his fucking voice that I've given him. He's just... Everything about Lucian is amazing. The initial draft we need with the reformists, there are 2 changes to the Constitution that are not open for their discussion. Lucian opened the dossier. Alright, so... According to the initial draft, there are 2 changes to the Constitution that are not open for their discussion. First, the Supreme Court will no longer vote on constitutional amendments, which is a thing we've already talked about. Second, the President's absolute veto will be taken away. We also talked about this. This can be replaced with a limited veto system by fixing the current loopholes. I have no problems with these clauses. Let's work with the reformists. I'd rather not include either of these points. No. We got it, right? It's about a better Sordland. Yes, sir. Lucian nodded. We will form a reform of the forms committee together with all parties and start reaching out to all the stakeholders in the assembly and the court for a new constitution. By later in the year, we should have an idea of the reform contents and what the other parties want. Lucian takes notes. Another important note, I really need a drink. My throat is so dry from this voice, and it's very nasally, so I'm getting kind of congested, actually. Another important point, we must be aware of the Lotharberg Group, is a private non-government organization which assesses the economic conditions of Sordland and the globe. Currently, the spokesman is Walter Tusk, who was elected by a majority vote. Officially, the group convenes every 3 months at the Hotel Berg in the village of Lothar. Meetings are held in secret, but as reported, topics like the economy, security, and international politics are discussed in detail. Most of its members are unknown, but compromise with the richest of Sordish society, except for the speaker, acts as a public figure. Alright, so Walter Tusk, millionaire businessman, investor, and the current spokesperson for the Lotharberg Group. Yeah. The oligarchs convene under the organization to influence economic policies. Conrad led it for a long time before falling ill. The new leader is Mr. Walter Tusk. According to reports, some members of the National Business Council are in their pockets. It's an official government structure that includes most of the leading business leaders. The leading leaders participating in corporation, many details. Alright. Will surely try to bribe us in exchange for special economic protections. I want to work with them anyway. The administration will be open to talk to businessmen. I won't be bought. It won't happen. I want to enter a dialogue with them eventually. We need to be diplomatic. We won't let these privileged, greedy, snobby capitalists run the country. I am not privileged or greedy, but I am a snobby capitalist. I won't be bought. It won't happen. I want to talk with them anyway. The administration will be open to talk business. I will enter a dialogue with them eventually. We need to be diplomatic. Yes. So we need to work with them. We don't want to alienate the party. We also don't want to be bought by them. Wise approach. It is good to understand and see if we can reach a middle ground. Lucian looks at Peter. As far as I know, Marcel Coranti, entrepreneur, is the son of the media proprietor Conrad Coranti. He operates the HOS Advertising, the largest advertising company in Sordland. Has strong ties to this group. His influence could definitely be an asset for us, but I'm sure he'll want something in return. My network, that could come in handy. The group's influence is an important force, one that we should use to our administrative advantage. That group is dependent on our economic policies. They can't move a finger without us. Tusk is heading the group. We should make sure he is on our side. Yeah. Alright, so Tusk is leading the group. We should make sure that he is on our side. So we want to make sure, I hit back a few times, Walter Tusk. So we want this guy involved. It seems he's in charge as the 8th richest sword as of 1953, which is, I believe, this year. We need to make sure that he's in our group, and we need to work with the people. Be a very useful ally as well. Tusk has an incredible network and owns a good amount of Burgess steel. Founded in 1889 as part of the Big Four, the 4 largest companies in Sordland. All right. We need to tread carefully on all sides with all power players to survive our term. I need to underline the seriousness of the situation. The military and the general staff are a powerful element in the state, and as history tells us, a dangerous one too. We do have some room to make structural changes by reducing their budget, for example, but it is quite limited. I want to receive the advice of the military before making up my mind. I don't want to die in prison just like Ardor C.S. Whiskey did. With the Rumberg threat on the horizon, we can't reduce Rumberg. Did I write them down? No. We can't reduce our thing. The military is nothing but a burden on our society. We should do something drastic like cutting their funding. So I'm leaning towards 1 or 2. I want to receive the advice of the military before making up my mind. It is sound to listen to them, but they have very biased and narrow opinions. Patriotism clouds their mind. General Kruger is a specter of the past. Swordfish 4-star general. Alright, so he's very military. Cool. Key supporters of Tarkin Sol during the 30s and the 40s, so I could probably use the planned economy thing to get him on my side. Defense Minister Losef is more loyal to us compared to General Kruger, a fact that obviously can change with our actions. However, either way, I see a potential rift between the two since they are clearly of different minds. If we act strongly against the military, both of these guys will unite against us. I agree with Lucian, we need to tread carefully here. Lucian looked at his watch. Well then, gentlemen, precisely 30 minutes. Yeah, precisely. It was closer to 20, but... This concludes our political briefing for today. Our next meeting will be about our media strategy. Talk to you soon, sir. I will keep in touch. See you both at the next meeting. Lucian and Peter bid their farewells and left. Alright, here we go! So, what does our journal tell us today? I declare my intentions to work with the reformists for the constitutional reform. Alright, country overview. Reform Committee. Reform Committee has been formed to discuss the possibilities of a new constitution with all parties in the government. Excellent. We got 4 news reports, which are likely going to be what I do at the beginning of every episode now. Anyway, so this one was next, and followed by this one. It was just a report and then a meeting on the military strategy. This one is just a report. All right, so we want a... all right, there's lots to do here. So... country plan. We need Reform Party to fix Constitution. Reform to fix Constitution. Make balanced. No full veto for me. Old guard will hate. And then for the military needs to not they need to not hate us. Alright, but I believe that'll be it for this one. So thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, I'm Keywii. You can tune yourself for a delightful day. I love you all. Goodbye.